Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, January the 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, sunny skies with a high of 75. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron stops by at 7:30. Cody Worsham joins the show at 8 a.m. Nick Underhill talks Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Brett. Scott Kushner of the New Orleans Advocate, the Times-Picayune at 9:30. OTB Mailbag at 8:15. So get your questions in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB Mailbag. You can watch the show live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel or follow today along at Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Hour number one of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome in. 104.500, 94.7 ESPN. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday morning. T-Bob, Musso, and Danny hanging out with you today. Got a lot to get to on today's show. It appears for many that mom and dad are having a very public fight. We'll get into it. LSU and the Saints seem to be playing a bit of tug-of-war over a potential coaching candidate. And, well, it holds big implications for both. In fact, it's a time of changing times with the New Orleans Saints, something that we talked about yesterday, something that will only continue throughout this very interesting offseason facing the black and gold. Got a massive SEC basketball game tonight as well. Number 1 versus number 2 in the SEC. The Tide versus the Tigers. Alabama and LSU. Doesn't get any better. Cody Worsham stopped by to break it down. Oh, and by the way, we'll talk to Coach O about what's currently going on in the defensive coordinator search. We'll spend some time later in the show making fun of, discussing the genius of Tennessee football. As yesterday we talked about buyouts, the logical insanity behind it. Well, Tennessee with a logically insane plan to get out of the buyouts. What it means, who could maybe end up being coach there, is Jeremy Pruitt's out of Tennessee. It's going to be a very fun show today. Look, we also have our OTB mailbag. So if you want to get involved, that's going to come up at 8:15. Go ahead and get your questions in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Just hashtag OTB mailbag, and we will answer all of life's most pressing questions coming up at 8:15. Hope everybody's having a great morning. Boys, how you feeling? Everybody recovering from the Saints loss a little bit? I find with a little distance, I'm getting a bit happier.
Yeah, that and the news cycle yesterday kind of helped.
It was a nice
bit.
news cycle, right? There was a lot happening.
It took your mind off of the Saints loss. So
I think I'm inclined to agree. I'm kind of in like almost not quite full off-season mode just yet, but I'm getting there. Danny, I know you're the biggest Saints fan on the staff. How are you feeling?
Still bummed out for sure, but slowly getting back to reality that the Saints aren't going in the sunshine with Drew Brees going out.
I read a very poignant article by Kat Terrell this morning in The Athletic that basically said, in the end, Drew Brees had nothing left to give. And you know what I could not help but be reminded of? I know we all read it. The Giving Tree with Shel Silverstein, right? And it's so appropriate for people that are our age or younger, where you literally grew up watching Drew Brees give everything he had to this city, to this franchise. First, it was some apples, some shade. Then it was some wood for the house. In the end, all that was left was a stump because he had given it all. You can be upset at the result, but you can't fault the effort or the man. Love what Tyrann Mathieu had to say about Drew Brees yesterday on Twitter. I mean, if that man doesn't represent what the impact that Brees had on the city, I don't know who does. So we'll get all of this and more later. Look, if you're watching online on YouTube and you want to help us, click the like button, share it if you feel so inclined. it pleases the algorithmic robot gods. It pleases me to say, let's get into some headlines.
OTV headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
So, in some LSU news, what we were talking about early on, what we will discuss at length next segment, LSU is expected to hire Saints defensive line coach Ryan Nielsen to be their defensive coordinator. But reportedly, due to some language in the contract, the Saints are trying to block the move. Fascinating for multiple reasons, but that is the brass tacks as it stands right now. In some other LSU hiring news, George Munoz looks like he will be coming back to LSU as an analyst. Musso informed me before the show. I wasn't fully aware of this. After Baylor decided to move on from their offensive coordinator, they go and hire Grimes from BYU. That Munoz was not retained, meaning he was back on the market. Remember, Munoz was a name. He was a key part of the 2019 run set by Joe Burrow in New York City at the Heisman ceremony. It was a name that people would have, that was bandied about for pass game coordinator, even offensive coordinator. So getting him back in the analyst role, I believe to be a very big hire for LSU. Also kind of buried in there, Parker Orgeron, Coach O's son, will serve as an analyst as well. Interesting to talk to Coach O about, having one of your boys on the staff. It's got to be a good feeling. Another LSU Tiger football news. How about it, boys? The final Infinity Stone, if you will. Dare Rosenthal announced that he will return to LSU for another year of eligibility, meaning you have your left tackle back. And a left tackle with NFL potential. And NFL potential is that he could raise his stock significantly this year if you look at how he's improved over the last couple of years. But basically what it means, remember, so when things were darkest with LSU, what were the potential outs that they had, right? If you could end the season on a high note, if you could keep the recruiting class together, and if you could figure out the offensive line, we said that you had the ability to turn back from what looked like a program that was on the brink of destruction. And LSU has done all three of those and then some, right? They have surpassed your expectation. You did not expect them to beat Florida and Ole Miss to end this season. They did that. You did not expect them to retain and even improve in some areas in the recruiting class. They did that. You did not expect them to be able to get guys to return to the team, especially on the lines, and they've done that again and then some. Where the Dare Rosenthal return means that you now have every single player back, both on the offensive and defensive lines. Look, and there's some football theory that you could get into about, well, what does it mean if you're returning players that maybe aren't, necessarily the best? Look, I'm not saying that this is going to make LSU one of the best lines in the country, but it certainly does not hurt, especially because of how light you are at that position. So a massive win for Coach O and company. Again, we'll pick his brain on what it means to have all of those guys back. In some other SEC news, yesterday we talked about the logical insanity surrounding college coaching buyouts and how we got to a point where it's acceptable to pay people $15 million not to work during a pandemic. Well, Tennessee, getting creative, figures out a logically insane way out of the insanity. Yesterday we asked, how do you pull out of this spiral, right, where agents are going to keep leveraging buyouts against one another? Well, Tennessee basically said, we're going to investigate ourselves, knowing that we will likely find some violations, no matter how minuscule. And then we're going to use that to fire our coach with cause. No $12 million buyout here. Jeremy Pruitt out as the Tennessee Volunteers head coach. Kevin Steele, who was hired last week, which was a foreshadowing for you literary types. Kevin Steele will now serve as the interim head coach. As Musso pointed out pre-show, what's that, his second interim head coach job last couple weeks?
Yeah, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, that Kevin Steele.
Yeah, so, but look, with violations potentially coming, with the toxicity surrounding the program, I think it's going to be like an extended interim chance. Maybe they attract someone else. We'll get into it later in the show because it's fascinating. But Jeremy Pruitt out. The other interesting part of all this, Pruitt's about to lawyer up, okay? All the other bad coaches are sitting on the beaches, counting their millions, big chillin'. The thumb thinks he is privy to that money, okay? He's lawyered up. And then it becomes intriguing because what does it mean for Tennessee? Do they have to open the books? Do you get to see some sausage making, if you will? Fascinating times for the Volunteers. The fall continues, though. Also, Phil Fulmer is announced that he is stepping down as AD, as Phil's done a horrible job and has poisoned multiple coaching relationships. In Saints news, 3 Saints were honored by the Pro Football Writers of America. Trey Hendrickson has been named to the All-NFL team. Cam Jordan and Alvin Kamara named to the All-NFC team. Cam Jordan's a bit interesting there. And look, Cam Jordan's great, man. 3-time All-Pro. I mean, as we'll discuss, in Ryan Nielsen's 4 years at the helm of the Saints, he made 3 All-Pro teams, but this was not that year. And look, if we're going to criticize fans for their horrible Pro Bowl voting, look, I don't know, Pro Football Writers of America. I think you just kind of went on name on this one a little bit here. But nonetheless, whatever, man. All-decade team member, one of my favorite players ever. I'm not going to lament too much Cam Jordan getting some love that maybe was a bit under.
I would like to know how Alvin Kamara did not make the All-NFL team after he led the league in scrimmage touchdowns. But
was it Derrick Henry, I'm guessing? It's got to be. I mean, that's
I'm sure
the only.
It was, but
the problem with Kamara,
2,000 yards. Oh man.
Yeah, the problem with Kamara is it was just a Derrick Henry factor, right? I think it also helps Henry that he's doing it in a more traditional running back role. And so the stats to our lizard brains were like, oh my God, 2,000 yards. I definitely recognize that, even though Kamara has his own arguments for sure.
Touchdowns are more valuable than yards, and Kamara led the league in scrimmage touchdowns. I would have given it to Alvin Kamara.
Put him on the first team, you bums. And finally, tonight in the PMAC, some massive LSU basketball action. Big tip-off, I should have written this down, set off for 8 p.m. tonight. Catch it right here in Eagle 98.1. But check it out, man. Number 1 versus number 2 in the SEC, the Tigers and the Tide, LSU, Alabama. LSU winners of 4 in a row. Bama winners of 7 in a row. 2 of the best scoring teams. 2 of the best rebounding teams. Look, you know me. I'm just a fan. Love Cody Worsham on at 8 o'clock. He'll break down this matchup in depth. The pressure points that you want to look at tonight in terms of what's going to decide it. So we got a full-packed show over the next 3 hours for you. Come chill with your boys talking Ryan Nielsen, LSU Saints next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Go Roof. Go to GEAUXroof.com for all your residential or commercial roofing needs. But T-Bob, why would I go to Go Roof? There's so many roofing companies out there. Well, there's a few reasons. First and foremost, I love the free professional estimate. No money up front, right? Nothing to come out, look at your roof, and figure out exactly what's going on. And that's great on multiple fronts, but the main thing is obviously you pay nothing and yet you get fully informed on the situation so you can make the correct decision. Probably the other, so that's peace of mind before the work. During the work, they're licensed, bonded, insured. There's a reason why you get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. It's because the quality of the work is fantastic. In fact, it's so fantastic that they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty, right? So that's peace of mind before, during, and after the roofing process. 927-8300, 927-8300, GoRoof.com. Beautiful new roof every shingle time. Roof's up.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Coming up on Tuesdays Off the Bench, we close the book on Louisiana football season. Plus, we preview a massive LSU-Alabama basketball showdown in the PMAC and a brand new OTB mailbag. Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESP. And T-Bob Musso, Danny hanging out with you this morning. And we're going to start with Ryan Nielsen because that's the big news of the day, in my opinion, especially when you're talking about LSU football and involving the Saints. And I know a lot of people have used this analogy. The first place that I saw it was my man Evan Sachs on Twitter, who, again, I believe is a wonderful follow, very funny. But he basically says, I hate it when mom and dad fight. And that's how a lot of people feel watching the Saints and the LSU Tigers engage in a tug-of-war over a potential defensive coordinator candidate. So currently, right now, James Slater, I believe, was the first to report this. Wannabes, covering Saints Buccaneers on a Sunday night and then Monday morning breaking news. But LSU is working to make Ryan Nielsen their new defensive coordinator, and reportedly the Saints are shutting it down. There's some contract language reportedly in Nielsen's contract that may stop him from going to the college game if the Saints want to choose to enact it. And as we're hearing right now, they are doing just that. They are blocking Ryan Nielsen from going from Saints defensive line coach to LSU defensive coordinator. Now, make no mistake, we talked about mom and dad fighting. My allegiance lies with LSU. You cannot stop this man from taking the next big step in his career right now, Coach Payton. And look, I know times are tough right now. Dan Campbell, your assistant head coach, a tight ends coach, who arguably maybe should have worked on ball security a bit more. He will be taking the head job at the Detroit Lions, reportedly. We know that Terry Fontenot, your director of pro player personnel and assistant GM, is in line to be the Atlanta Falcons general manager. We know that due to the cap and everything else, that there's going to be massive turnover on the personnel side as well, like the actual roster. And so there's a lot of change in the air for the New Orleans Saints as you prepare to enter the post-Breeze era. And so I get Sean Payton wanting to retain Ryan Nielsen, especially when you look at Nielsen's success rate as a Saints defensive line coach and why he would want to keep him. But there are a couple of reasons why this may not be the best idea for the Saints. Before we get there, let's talk about Ryan Nielsen and who he is. Without going too much into his resume, so we'll wait until the hiring's final, I'll give you kind of the broad strokes, the highlights, especially the last few years. Now, he has a relationship with Orgeron, played defensive line for Orgeron back in the day. Ryan Nielsen was actually at a 2006 Ole Miss football camp that I was at back in the day, where I met Will Blackwell and a host of other guys that ended up forming long friendships. And I think he was a young D-line coach at the time, very well. Well, he went on to do very well for himself. He kind of first started to really make his name in terms of taking steps back in 2013 when he headed over to NC State. He was the D-line coach as well as the run game coordinator. Okay, that piece is important because it shows a hint of coordinating experience, if not play calling. More importantly, it shows maybe how much he learned in terms of how to stop the run, and you'll see that pay dividends in his Saints tenure. So run game coordinator, defensive line coach from 2013 to 2017. If you remember that Bradley Chubb NC State D-line of a few years ago, he was the architect of that, bringing a bunch of guys who were not viewed as, dominant players and making them into NFL guys, multiple guys off of that D-line, including Chubb, who went to obviously go on and be a very high draft pick. What it means is that it actually made him a Broyles Award candidate, which is for the top assistant in the country. So a nice little resume booster there at NC State. Because of that, he then gets the Saints defensive line job back in 2017 to the present. So it's 4 years. In those 4 years, remember we mentioned run game coordinator. In those 4 years, the Saints are number one in the NFL, allowing just 94 rush yards per game over a 4-year span. That is fantastic. They're third in the NFL in sacks over that 4-year span. Remember like 5 years ago when the Saints couldn't buy a sack? And here they are. They've spent almost half a decade top 3 in the entire league. They've won 4 division championships in a row, which everybody has a hand in. But Nielsen, obviously, a key part. I mentioned Cam Jordan earlier, and that maybe this year wasn't his best year, but it's not been the case since Nielsen arrived. In fact, Cam Jordan's latest 3 All-Pro years, 2017, 18, and 19, all directly coincide with the arrival of Ryan Nielsen. Trey Hendrickson developed under Nielsen's tutelage. What did he just do? He just finished second in the NFL, tied with Aaron Donald for sacks. And then obviously you think about all the other pieces of that Saints defensive line, Onyemata's development, Davenport's development, Sheldon Rankins. Ryan Nielsen and his success is tied to all of it. In fact, what better thing, and look, let's be clear, anecdotally, right? You talk to people and everybody raves about Ryan Nielsen. You saw Jeff Duncan tweeting yesterday when it thought this hire was official, saying that, this would be a home run hire for LSU. Jeff's opinion is representative of the vast majority of people that I've talked to about this. I also think the Saints so publicly and stubbornly fighting to keep him shows the value, especially because that if they keep him, or if they block him from making this move, from getting paid more and becoming a coordinator, if you're Nielsen, that's going to kind of embitter you towards your bosses. Saints know that, and yet they're still fighting to keep him. That's how much they think that he means to that staff. Let's talk about this information getting out there publicly, right? LSU or Nielsen's camp, whoever, putting it out there that he was in line to be the DC, because I think that becomes an interesting question point. Does the leaking of the info help or hurt this Nielsen deal getting done? And it's interesting because I see 2 ways that this could go down. Maybe the leaking of the information gets the Saints extra angry. They react angrily and they block him. Or, and that doesn't seem like the most likely to me. Or, does the information cause enough public pressure to force New Orleans to bend? Because it's a bad look to block this man from getting a career upgrade. And look, maybe the Saints don't give a damn about that part, right? Because I think that the average person does not react very kindly to executives, to higher-ups, to bosses, blocking the employee from moving up in the world due to contract language, right? Like the average Joe, you, me, us, we can all appreciate that that would be a bit frustrating and have no problem kind of extending a middle finger to the boss in that case. But whatever, right? I don't know that the Saints necessarily would care about that, would care about public pressure or what people think of him. That's also a situation where, sure, what are people going to do? They're going to get mad. They're going to be like, hey, that's messed up. And then they're going to move on with their lives. And the Saints will move on with the offseason. So I don't know if that's the biggest piece here, though it is a piece. I think the bigger piece and the bigger problem with publicly blocking this move, well, it's twofold. First, it's potentially embittering Nielsen, like we said, himself. But the bigger part, in my opinion, is it's a terrible look for any other potential hires, right? Like if you're a young, rising coach and the Saints want you to come and be a position coach, and you have options. Now, obviously, if you don't have options and it's just them offering you, you're going to take it almost no matter what. Who knows? Maybe that's how Nielsen got in this deal in the first place, where he has a contract that blocks him from moving back to the college game. But if you're an attractive candidate with multiple offers and the Saints are in competition to get him, make no mistake, people can, I guess you could almost call it dirty recruiting. Teams can use this against you. Why would you go work for that guy? He actively blocked this man from becoming a coordinator and making way more money because of contract language. So I'm going to be fascinated to see how this plays out. If I had to guess, if I was trying to predict, I do think the Saints eventually bend here. I don't say that with any point of authority. I just say that because of what we just talked about. Just kind of looking at it from a public relations standpoint for what it means hiring going forward, for what it would mean for somebody to keep working in an environment where their move to better themselves was blocked. I think there's too many factors working against the Saints in this case. And look, it's a huge bummer because you're losing talent from the Saints, but it does look like you're gaining a ton of talent at LSU. I mean, Nielsen fitting in with a defensive line that is quite literally returning every single player becomes very exciting. I mean, you want why am I blanking? Who's the biggest recruit? Mason Smith. You want Mason Smith under Ryan Nielsen's tutelage? I know I do. Like that could bring Jaquelin Roy. Are you kidding me? So I hope that mom and dad figure this out. I don't know what maybe LSU's got to pay. Like I don't know what LSU has to do, but I hope them and the Saints can come to an agreement and Ryan Nielsen can end up as the LSU Tigers defensive coordinator. Time will tell. We'll ask Coach O about it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. The dealership, so nice. I went there twice. They got great 2021 deals going on right now for the month of January. Your new 2021 Tundra. These things are awesome, man. They're huge. And guess what? You get 0% APR financing for 60 months right now through All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. But look, it ain't all about the trucks, man, okay? It's 2021. We're new age. We're enlightened. We're all about serving the family. We're all about getting badass minivans like I did. The Murdered Out Mini, black on black on black. The Toyota Sienna has changed my life. I got 2 daughters that feel like I'm rolling around in a mansion on wheels. They can climb in the car. They climb in their seat. It's awesome, man. So if you're a family man, look into the Sienna. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And then look, I get my big ass into a Toyota Camry every day, and I love it. And I'm leasing it, and it's great. The bottom line is that they found the exact answers for my needs. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 30.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richard Tonda from noon to 3. Hunt Palmer continues to sit in for Haney. We'll also be joined by Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio to break down LSU versus Alabama on the hardwood. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back Off the Bench. It is Tuesday here on OTB, which means that we talk to the man, Coach O. That's right. Coach O, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us again.
Good morning to you, Bob. Hey, I had a good talk with your dad yesterday. It was good to hear from him. Great to be on your show today.
Yeah, actually, it made some news yesterday as well. And I guess we'll just start there, get out of the way early here, because I don't know what you can or can't comment on right now. But there's some reports that Ryan Nielsen's maybe in line to be that LSU defensive coordinator. What's the latest on that situation?
You know, we're still working on it. He's a primary candidate. Obviously, love Ryan. Ryan's a bright, young, energetic coach. Comes to us highly recommended. But there's still some things to work out to see if he can come to LSU, and those things are not final yet.
Coach, I'll never forget one of the toughest camps I've ever gone to back at Ole Miss in 2006. Coach Nielsen was there, right? I mean, I remember, I think I was like 16 years old, and he was teaching me pass rush technique. So this is a potential reuniting here.
Yeah, obviously, you know, I coached Ryan in college at USC. Outstanding player and outstanding young man that he decided to coach. And then he started volunteer coaching with us at USC with me and Coach Carroll. Then went to Idaho and then came to us and became my full-time defensive line coach and then took off. You know, at North Carolina State, he had 4 guys that he recruited that were drafted. I think a couple of them were first-round picks.
Yep.
And has done a tremendous job with the Saints. He comes with us with raised reviews. But again, the deal is not done yet.
Yeah, and we'll see where it goes. Okay, Coach, before we get back into the kind of football weeds and the news of the day, I got to ask you about this because, like, 2020 was terrible in a lot of ways. I just mean, like, in terms of the pandemic and the change and just everybody had to navigate it. But one of the interesting things is that FCS football now is taking place in the spring, which for most is what it is. But for you, that means that you now get to watch your son's senior football season in person, live. Like, you don't have games and stuff of your own. What has that experience been like so far?
Phenomenal. What a gift. On Fridays, I get to watch them practice on Friday afternoon. I get to watch them scrimmage on Saturdays. I'll spend some time with them. Go eat a po' boy at Daryl's after, just be a dad. Kind of cool. And then I'll be there next weekend. And then I'll get to see every game, which is something I haven't been able to do throughout his career. I maybe seen 1 or 2 games a year, but this year I'm going to see all his games. And then he'll get next season again. And our second game is against McNeese State, so I get to play against my boy.
Oh, okay, I see. So really, you're just doing scouting here. You're just getting ready for the game. Okay, the deep levels never stop in the coaching game. Speaking of some coaching moves, by the way, Daryl's po' boy sounds incredible. Is that how you got there and then back? We'll get there. But a couple of guys added to the staff as well. George Munoz back as an analyst role. What can you say about Munoz rejoining the squad?
George was just like a full-time coach. He just didn't coach on the field. I mean, the job that he did with us, obviously he came to us from ULL, was a coordinator. Him and James Gregg did the protections on Tuesday and Wednesday. He was very instrumental in the winning edge, just game-winning thoughts that we do every Thursday. And worked with me with game management, just an excellent force, and knows the quarterback play, knows the Saints offense, knows Joe Brady's offense. So along with Jake and DJ, we got 3 guys that were here for our championship run that knows that offense.
Yeah, George famously at that Heisman ceremony. And then speaking of sons, Parker Orgeron joining the staff as well. How about that?
Yeah, it's just wonderful to have, as you know, have your son with you and been working. He's starting from scratch, so he's going to start from the bottom, work his way up. But he's eager, he's enthusiastic. Just to see him working every day is just a pleasure to watch him grow.
Talking to LSU head football coach, Coach O, here on Off the Bench. Coach, how about this? So there's a lot of – we're going to talk about some old faces. We're going to talk about some new faces. First, I know some of the early enrollees. I believe it's 9 guys now on campus. How's that initial process going?
Good group. And, I listen to the academics, listen to the weight room, I listen to the training room on how they act. That's what's most important to me. And they seem like they're all great character young men, so that's important. It seems like they're gelling well. It's a great mix, some great players. Look forward to seeing them at football school today. Deion Smith will not be involved in football school. He still has a little ankle injury. Garrett Nussmeister has did some work on his left hand, so he's going to be limited. But I'm excited to see the guys, not just a walkthrough, but I'm excited to see the guys in uniform in the team meeting.
So help me out here, Coach. From a coach's perspective, if I'm an early enrollee, it's an intimidating situation, right? You're 18 years old. 1 week you're in high school. The next week you're at LSU, and there's guys who have done it on the biggest stage all around you. Guys who look like men, look like adults. So if I'm an early enrollee, what do I need to do to flash for the coaches? Like, what are y'all looking for out of these young cats?
Show up early, be quiet, work hard.
So you mentioned that football school starts today. Is this different because of the pandemic and the timing of it all? Like, what is allowed? What is the plan for football school?
More or less it's the meeting. We'll have a half-hour meeting, then we'll go on the field and walk them through some individual instruction. We can't go against each other, nothing like that. Put in plays. Today we won't put in any defense. Got defensive coordinator is not here yet. Just basic fundamental stuff.
And then, so I mentioned some new faces showing up at football school today. There's also going to be a lot of familiar faces. The defensive line had already committed to come back, and it seemed like one by one the dominoes fell, and now with the announcement that Dare Rosenthal will be returning, you got your left tackle back, but you got the entire line on both sides of the ball back for next football season. How are you feeling?
Feel great, and I told him about 3/4 of the way to see us. And recruiting is coming to an end, but the most important recruits that we have are the men in this room, and we have a chance to have an excellent foundation for a great team next year if most of you guys decide to come back. And to get both offensive and defensive line, you got to praise the coaches, you got to praise Derek Panaski, the guys around the office, spent hours for recruiting them. And again, I told you about it. Those po' boy sandwiches work for the offensive line.
Okay, so let's. There's nothing better than a fried shrimp po' boy. What is your po' boy of choice?
I like roast beef po' boy with extra gravy.
Oh man, that's sloppy. You got to bring some napkins to that thing. Okay. Last one here. I got to ask you about this because we promised the audience that we would. Warren Sapp was on a podcast recently. Obviously, you coached Sapp back in the day. And he said that everything that The Rock says, or a few things, right, like shove it sideways and candy ass, he said that actually comes from you back in the Miami football days. Can you confirm this?
Well, I can confirm some of it, but I won't claim all of it, I promise you. But, we had a good time, man. I love those guys. That was, I was different then. I was a young coach and full of vinegar and ready to go every day, obviously. But, they're having that show, The Young Rock, and there'll be a Coach O character on there, so it'll be pretty cool.
Oh, no way. Oh, my God. Yeah. I love it, dude. Yeah. That's really cool. Okay, breaking news here on Off the Bench. Coach, thank you so much for joining us each and every Tuesday. Congrats on getting to watch the Sun, and just congrats on getting the lines back. I know LSU fans are really excited.
Thanks, Bob. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. That's Coach O. Coach Ed Orgeron, LSU head football coach. As we said, man, a string of successes for the LSU football program and staff. Here's to hoping that the Ryan Nielsen situation can add to those successes. So wait, so help me out. So there's a Young Rock television show, I guess?
Yeah, I just saw a preview for that while watching the Bills game.
Is The Rock going to play Young Rock?
No. It's not. He's not playing the Rock's not in it, so to speak. But it's apparently it kind of looks like a sitcom almost that's going to like chronicle The Rock's life.
Who do you cast as Coach O?
I saw the preview for this and I was just like, what?
That's fascinating on so many levels. I wonder who you cast. Okay, let's hear from the chat. Who do you think? Who should be cast as Coach O in the Young Rock? Who can pull off that Cajun, gravelly, as he said there, full of you-know-what and vinegar? Who can get that message across? We'll see. And we'll close out hour number 1 next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to DonisvilleGlassandBody.com today. That's Donisville Glass and Body. And look, we got some official news every day here on OTB. I tell you, DG&B is hands down the best collision shop around. And you know what makes it all work? A dedicated and knowledgeable staff. And right now, if you want to join that staff, they are looking for an experienced service writer / customer service representative. So if you have knowledge of the pricing of tires, maintenance job, a desire to work in a fast-paced, positive environment, DG&B offers, they offer it all, man. Competitive salary, paid vacation, paid holidays, health insurance, 401ks, full salary, full bennies. How's it sound? It sounds great. Apply at DonisvilleGlassandBody.com or call 473-6495. It's 473-6495. Again, if you are an experienced service writer or customer service representative, DG&B wants you. You know I love Donisville Glass and Body. You will too. DonisvilleGlassandBody.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us as we put a button on the Saints season and the latest on the Ryan Nielsen LSU reports. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Benny's Car Wash is giving you a chance to win free car payments for a year. Visit the contest page at 1045ESPN.com today to enter. You'll also have a chance to win a 6-month unlimited wash club membership from Benny's and more. Register now at 1045ESPN.com.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. Off the Bench. So we did a little research into the Young Rock television show. I had never heard of this before today. Okay, so I just saw like one trailer, a couple stills during the commercial break. I get a very Everybody Hates Chris type of vibe from it. It's something in like how it's shot. Musa, you arrived at the same point, I believe?
Yeah, no, whenever we saw the preview for it on Saturday night, that's kind of the same vibe we caught as well. We're like, that kind of just looks like Everybody Hates Chris, but with The Rock.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a comedic origin story. So the Rock's life story made into a comedy, and it's weird because like I how many people would you actually be interested in watching that show, right? The Rock may be one of the few. As Danny said, it is The Rock the most kind of universally liked person in the world. I mean, save for his corporate heel turn, ever since he came back, has like who sits there and doesn't like The Rock? Certainly, I'm sure and he got a bit involved in politics earlier this year that some people are gonna form these opinions because it tends to make people get very, hardened and sensitive and stuff. But like for the most part, it seems like everybody loves The Rock. You need somebody to endorse your product, go get The Rock. You want somebody to star in your movie, go get The Rock. He's universally likable. I still just wonder who's going to be a young Coach O in that show. Thank you to chat. It seems like many of y'all want me to be Coach O. Well, I do believe that I have the spirit for it. Look at this. Look at that. Do you see that? If you're watching online, you might see, you might need sunglasses on right now. Despite the Cajun blood hammering in my veins, I have the skin tone of a translucent vampire. I guess I got my mom's North Louisiana, Manning, Louisiana skin tone. So I don't know. I would have to go through Lord of the Rings level makeup, I think, to pull off the tan Cajun skin of Coach O. So unfortunately, I think that's gonna hold me back from my young rock dreams, which is But look, my Bilbo T-Bag says, boy, get you some sun. Look, it doesn't even matter. I can sit in front of the sun forever, and I will turn pink like a lobster, and the next day I will just be completely pale again. It's almost like a superpower in that I can burn the hell out of myself, but my body is so committed to being pale that it immediately heals the burns. I have like a Wolverine healing factor, but for sunburns. And I used to not like it when I was younger, to the point where I actually went to a tanning bed a couple of times in high school.
Oh,
yeah.
How'd that work out?
Horribly.
Okay.
I was too big for the tanning bed. A little too fat, I think, and so it got like half of it. It got like the middle portions of my butt. It didn't really get the edges, so I ended up with this very weird, and I burned myself. But I ended up with this very weird straight burn down the my posterior, if you will, my actual buttocks, and I never ended up going back.
Have you ever tried spray tan?
No, I'm not opposed to it though. I mean, I like it conceptually.
That seems like the foolproof way.
Yeah, it's not for me because I just don't think I care about being tan anymore. But certainly, if I was going to play young Coach O, I think a spray tan would be in the cards. No, but I don't fault anybody. Look, yeah, why would you go actually burn your skin and get skin cancer stuff? Just spray tan it up if you're out there. And there's nothing more fun than seeing someone immediately after the spray tan, before they've done like the showers and stuff that even it out to a normal shade, and you just make fun of them. Yeah, I call my wife an Oompa Loompa all the time. I'm like, oh no, what child did you just shuttle off into the darkness? Or sing me a little song. Obviously, there's jokes that you could do with like Donald Trump if you wanted to. So spray tans are great on multiple levels, and then once they do even out, I think they look pretty good. I mean, I guess yes, Todd Jones, I do have the Canon's raccoon eyes. Pete Davidson famously calls them butthole eyes. I think that also applies. Look, but I'm pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Desensitized to any attacks on my paleness. My nickname given to me by my family and my sister growing up was White Roach. I don't know if you can have a less confidence-inspiring nickname than White Roach. Where does the roach come from? I don't know. Is it the eyes thing? I don't know. I can't fully explain it. But, hey, it is what it is. And I'll wear my pale skin with pride. Unless you want me to be young Coach O, then I'll get the spray tan. Just let me know, NBC. I'm right here. I'm willing to work. Adrian Nadeau saying, can't unsee the mental image. Yeah, you're welcome for that, okay? But be careful, kids, with tanning beds. Just go get spray tan. There's no point. All right, hour one is about to be in the books. Oh, man, I hate you, Daniel Basham. He says, T-Bob with a spray pan and small hands would make a good Donald Trump. Ah, God, these tiny hands. The other great curse of my life. We got some good stuff going on. Next hour, we're going to open with Cody Worsham talking LSU basketball. We also have at 8:30. Why am I blanking right now? Oh, no, we had Nick Underhill. We're going to replace him. Nick had to call out sick today. And we'll talk a lot of Saints as well. What's the latest going on there? Remember, fire, mold, water damage. You want Advanta Clean. Advanta Clean. It's one call, okay? You're like, T-Bob, but okay, I don't know where to start. I woke up. I got wet socks when I stepped out of bed. There's a massive leak. There's damage. I don't know what to do. I need to call my insurance company, right? Wrong. If you call them first, they will funnel you to companies that they have a relationship with, meaning they're working with their best interest at heart. They may not be working with your best interest at heart. So your first call, remember this Vanta-Clean is 24/7, 365. Your first call needs to be 225-369-5228. That's 369-5228. They work with the insurance companies. They take care of all the documentation, arguing with the company. They make sure that your home is fixed without you lifting a finger except to call them. So water damage, mold damage, fire damage, you want Vanta-Clean, AdvantaCleanBR.com, or call 225-369-5228. Something else I'm kind of interested in here, the fight this week. And I rarely get up for fights. But, I mean, look, Conor McGregor, he has the it factor. He's always been able to bring me in. And then you got Dustin Poirier, right? I mean, a Lafayette native. Two guys that squared up back in 2014. I'm thinking that Saturday night might bring me back to the fights, which is very, very rare. We're going to figure out what McGregor's like nowadays. Is he really ready for another title shot? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Hour 1 of the books. Hour 2 coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Ochsner.org today, Ochsner.org. If you need to get healthy, you need to get right, you have anything bugging you, man, Ochsner is the answer to maximizing your health, maximizing your potential. And that's because in Ochsner, they maximize in every way that they can, right? That's why the OR is as cutting edge as anything you've ever seen. The MRI machine is unlike anything I've ever seen, because they know that with the latest and greatest technology, they can bring you the latest and greatest results. And that extends to everything, right? The non-surgical options they have to try to get you going. It extends to the actual surgeries themselves, the OR rooms, and then the recovery rooms, where there's even things like antimicrobial paint on the walls to fight against infection. And it's the personnel. And really, that's what makes any place, right? The people, the talent. And over there at Ochsner, they hire the best. So whether it's physical therapy, I mean, look, even if you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, they have Ochsner Performance Training. Go to Ochsner.org, Ochsner.org.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only, subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, January the 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 75. If you missed hour one of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come, Cody Worsham from LSU Digital Media joins the show next. New Orleans Advocate Scott Kushner will be here at 9:30. OTB Mailbag is at 8:15, so get your questions in to the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB Mailbag. You can follow the show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Watch, of course, at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Off the Bench. Bebop Musso, Danny hanging out with you today. Massive LSU battle in the PMAC tonight. Number 1 versus number 2 in the SEC. Alabama versus LSU. Does it get any better? Tigers versus Tide. And look, I'm just a fan, so let's bring in an expert, the host of the Boot Up podcast. You know him. You love him. Cody Worsham. Cody, what's going on this morning, man?
What's up, T-Bob? How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited. A lot to talk about today. But one of the main things I'm looking forward to tonight is having a nice drink in hand, some nice anxiety in my stomach, and watching a classic LSU-Alabama matchup. Only this time it takes place on the hardwood. So many places to start, but let me start here because I'm probably representative of a lot of people, Cody, where we're still kind of transitioning into basketball season, kind of dipping our toes in here or there. And I've watched LSU. I haven't watched much Alabama. What is Alabama doing this year to be so dominant? Winners of 7 in a row. Obviously, just beat the hell out of Kentucky, undefeated in the SEC. What makes this Alabama team so strong?
I hate to give you a simple answer, but they're really good offensively, and they're really good defensively too.
Oh, okay.
They're top 3 in the SEC in offensive and defensive efficiency. Nate Oates I think he's in his second year over there. He's done a really good job. On offense, they come down, they bomb it from 3. They shoot it really, really effectively from 3. They take a lot of threes. They have a lot of guys who can shoot. Defensively, they're long. They can switch. Kind of similar to LSU and their personnel, where they're a little bit smaller in the backcourt than LSU is, but got a lot of forwards like Herbert Jones, even John Petty, who's kind of a long guard, who can switch and guard a bunch of different guys. So they play small, they play fast, but despite playing small and playing fast, they still rebound pretty well too. So they're a well-coached team. They play at such a tempo that you score, and 3 seconds later they can have the ball in their goal. They just go really, really fast, but they're efficient with it. So I think they're the best team in the SEC right now. I think LSU, on paper, is still one step behind them, but they got a chance tonight to prove that they're better and at the top of the SEC.
Yeah, so you mentioned the top of the SEC, LSU being one step behind. Is this really, it's 1 and 2 in the rankings. In your view, is this 1 and 2? Is this 2 of the top 3 with Tennessee mixed in? How does the SEC hierarchy currently stand?
Yeah, I think Tennessee absolutely has a claim to be there as well, but Alabama already knocked off Tennessee. So They've got that skin on the wall. I think this is probably the two best teams in the SEC. I think Tennessee is exceptional defensively, but I think they don't have quite the gear offensively that LSU and Alabama have. And when I say that Alabama is a little bit ahead of LSU on paper, I think it's just consistent performances start to finish, especially defensively. LSU's gotten into a gear. I've kind of been repeating myself all year. They've got an elite gear defensively. They just don't stay there all the time. And part of it is their system. Part of it is probably personnel and just some limitations they have on personnel. I think the system's actually kind of maximizing their defensive personnel. But if they can stay in that gear, which they've done, the last 6 or 7 minutes against South Carolina, when I don't think they gave up a field goal, the way they guarded at Ole Miss, the way they just absolutely obliterated Arkansas, who struggled a little bit since then. They've shown that ability to maintain that gear. So they're going to have to do that tonight against Alabama, because Alabama is maybe the only team in the SEC that can score with LSU, and so they're going to have to get some stops.
And that Arkansas game is kind of interesting to point out, because, as you said, they maybe have gone on to be, I don't know if exposed is the right word, a bit. Maybe they were, but going into the LSU matchup, you were talking about the number one scoring team in the SEC, the number one rebounding team in the SEC, Bama, and to your point, is third right now in points per game and second with 41 rebounds per game. What, if anything, can LSU carry over from like that Arkansas defensive performance or the last few minutes of South Carolina? What specifically do you think they can carry over and find success with against Alabama?
Yeah, I think it's about, I split it up in your first question into offense and defense. Really, it's symbiotic. If you're scoring on one end, you're giving your defense time to set up, and you're in a stronger position to set up your defense and build your defense. And that's really important to LSU because of the way they exert full court pressure, the way they get back into the matchup zone or into the 1-3-1 that switches into a man halfway through. They really need to set. So I think the turnover battle is going to be huge. Alabama hasn't turned the ball over a ton this year, but LSU has been pretty good, especially in the SEC, at forcing turnovers. And then conversely, LSU, their defensive numbers are better. They're still, I wouldn't call them good, but they're above average in a lot of places. One area they really struggle is they give up 4 or 5 turnovers a game that the other team just gets a free layup out of, and you can't do that against Alabama. You can't give them the free points. They're too good offensively. They're going to earn some difficult points. So I think you really have to take care of the ball. And then I think the free throw line is going to be huge. LSU's crushing teams at the free throw line this year. Alabama is not a great free throw team. It being at home is going to help there. But I think the one thing you don't want to do is fall into a three-point shooting contest as good as LSU's shot the three this year. They've defended it really well. I think those three-pointers turn into easy transition baskets when you miss them for the other team because of the long rebounds. And so while LSU needs to take and make open threes, I think the key is going to be attacking the rim, especially a guy like Cam Thomas. Just attack early. Don't settle for the three. Get to the free throw line. Get them in foul trouble. Slow the game down there so they can't get out and run, because if they're at the free throw line, they're not going to run against you. So I think that's going to be a huge matchup for LSU.
Yeah, and you mentioned LSU killing people on the line. So much is because of the freshman phenom, Cam Thomas. Something that Wade talked about as well is that when he's drawing fouls like that, a rising tide raises all ships. It opens opportunity for everybody on that court. It seems like he finds new ways to impress you constantly this season, Cody. What can you say for maybe those that haven't watched as much of Cam Thomas? Like, why should they tune in tonight?
Well, I mean, he's a scoring machine. To me, the most impressive thing about Cam Thomas right now is he's struggling from three in conference play. He's only at 26%. But, I mean, his last few conference games are 32 against A&M, 28 against Florida, 26 against Georgia, 25 against South Carolina. Like, he's getting to 25 points while not getting hot from three. When he gets hot from three, which he's due for, it could happen tonight, it's going to turn those 25s and 30s into 35s and 40s. That's the kind of scorer he is, because he consistently gets to the line. He's drawing 7 fouls a game. His free throw rate's incredible. I think he leads the SEC in free throw attempts at 86. He shoots 90% there. And so when you shoot that well from the free throw line and get there that often and frequently, you're automatically going to be an efficient scorer, because it's the most efficient place to be. Like, if you think about a 90% free throw shooter, if you're shooting 2 free throws a possession, that's 1.8 points per possession. That's like the best offenses in the country are at 1.2.
Damn.
I mean, you're in incredible territory there. So it's incredibly valuable to be able to get there and make them. And he does that. And then he's got the finishes around the rim. That's where he's been really good lately. He's shooting over 50% from 2. He can, he had the late finish against South Carolina that he kind of banked in through some contact. So he's got everything. He's got everything in his arsenal. And if he gets hot from 3, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, so look, and we're talking to Cody Worsham, host of the Boot Up podcast, LSU Sports Media digital reporter. If you don't follow Cody on Twitter, what are you doing? He is an unending fount of interesting LSU numbers and news. And as you can tell, like, he knows this LSU basketball team better than anyone. So it's not just Cam Thomas this year, though, right? Trenton Watford has played spectacular. Javonte Smart, Darius Days. Just when you look at all individual offensive categories right now, there's LSU players littered throughout. And maybe most impressively is the efficiency that they're operating with. They're nearly 50% from the field as a team. I'm guessing that free throws is a key part of that efficiency. What other elements are coming together to make LSU not just like high volume scorers, but very efficient scorers?
Yeah, I mean, the way they're shooting the 3 ball this year is pretty incredible. And you talked about the Cam Thomas effect on everybody else, and Will Wade's talked about this. But, some people watch Cam Thomas, and they're like, man, like, he's shooting so much. Like, how are these other guys buying in? Well, one, LSU plays so fast that everyone's getting their shots. I mean, Javonte and Trendon and Darius are all getting, 10 shots a game. So that's not an issue. But they're getting more space to operate with because Cam, you can't guard him one-on-one. You have to send help. If you don't, he's going to score. And so when they're sending help, one, LSU, they have good passers all over the floor. So Trendon's a good passer. Javonte can pass. Darius can pass. If Mwani's out there, he can pass. Even LeBlanc, when he's out there, he's a good ball mover. So you got guys that can move the ball and rotate it and find the open man. But 2, you've got guys that are getting more open shots than they've ever had. Trenton Watford shooting 44% from 3. Javonte's shooting 46% from 3. Darius is shooting 40% from 3. So you can't leave anybody open, but you have to send help on multiple guys, which is why this team is so hard to guard. And I really love what they're doing with kind of the 2-man game. With Cam is obviously getting a lot of shots and attention, but I love when they go to the Javonte and Trenton 2-man game on one side of the floor, and then you have to pick your poison as a defense. You've got Cam Thomas in the opposite corner. You've got Mwani or LeBlanc in the dunker spot where they can get offensive rebounds or get easy dunks. You got Darius Days spotting up on the opposite wing. You either have to try to guard Trenton and Javonte 2-on-2, which is pretty much impossible, or you got to send help and rotate, and you're probably going to leave somebody open. So it's kind of pick your poison with this team, and guys like Trenton and Javonte and Darius, when they're getting their opportunities, they're making the most of them and really capitalizing. So look, offensively, I don't think there's another team in the SEC other than Alabama that can match what LSU does.
And that's why it's so exciting that these two are matching up tonight in the PMAC. Look, predictions are what they are, Cody. I don't even care if it's like a win or loss. Just how do you see this game playing out tonight? Maybe like the flow of it.
Yeah, it's going to be fast. I mean, it's going to be in the 80s. First team to 90 might win. But the flip side to that is, like I said, Alabama's been very, very good defensively. I think they're second or third in the SEC in defensive efficiency in conference games. And then LSU's got that gear, too. One thing that was interesting about the South Carolina game, and I'm curious to see if LSU does it a lot tonight, it was the first time we'd seen Days, LeBlanc, and Watford all on the floor at the same time. That limits you offensively because what LSU's been so dangerous with offensively this year is just having 5 shooters on the floor. And when LeBlanc's out there, you lose a little bit of that shooting. But that lineup against South Carolina was elite defensively. I mean, elite defensively. I think they were at like 0.7 points per possession, which is just incredible. The first in the country if you had it for a whole season. So I'm curious to see if LSU goes to that lineup to get stops or if you just go small ball on small ball and try to outscore them and force some turnovers and win that way. It's going to be an interesting kind of chess match because the one thing that Alabama doesn't have is elite size. They've got guys that are long and they've got a big and Bruner who's been pretty effective. And Alex Reese is a guy that's always given LSU trouble. But they're big across the board, but they're not huge, kind of like LSU. So if you put a LeBlanc out there with 2 other bigs, that'd be a curious tactical matchup. But I think it'll probably be the opposite. I think it'll be small ball and small ball, up and down. Team that takes care of the ball and makes the most free throws wins.
I mean, how fantastic is that, right? You have two of the best teams in the SEC right now, two of the best offenses in the SEC, two of the best young coaches in the SEC versus Oates versus Wade. It's in the PMAC tonight at 8 p.m. Cody, thank you so much for breaking down the matchup this morning.
You got it, T-Bob. Thanks for having me.
Remember, you can listen right here on, well, not really right here, but you can listen to our sister station, Eagle 98.1 to the game. Turn on the TV, turn up the radio. All right, when we get back, it's time, as we do every week, for a little OTB mailbag.
Off the bench, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Go to AccuTempBR.com today. Go to AccuTempBR.com today and check this out, man. They got a great deal going on at AccuTemp right now. Look, first off, let's start here. AC, electrical, heating. You need any of that, AccuTemp's the answer. I say it every day because it's worth saying every day. Over 1,200 Google reviews and a 4.9 rating. If that doesn't show you that first and foremost, they treat the customer the correct way, and if that doesn't show you that the quality of the work as well as the customer experience isn't top-notch, then nothing will. The internet's a harsh place, but it loves AccuTemp, and for good reason. They put in the effort. And in fact, right now, if you go to AccuTemp, they come out there. If you need a new AC unit, if you buy an AC unit, you get a furnace for completely free. When you buy that AC unit, 0% interest, 0 payments for 6 months. I mean, what are you waiting for? Call for details or go to AccuTempBR.com. Go to AccuTempBR.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, live from Doe's Eat Place. Big game for LSU basketball as the Tigers welcome Alabama into town. We break it all down starting at 6 p.m. Come out and see us or tune in to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB 104.500. We're doing 94.7 ESPN. God, I get a little bit of a headache today, dude. We're going to push right through. You know what's going to make my pounding head feel better? Answering all of life's most pressing questions. It is Tuesday at 8:15, which means it is time for a brand new edition of OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
When I made this sounder, I did not think about what it would do if you have it cranked up with a headache.
Did not anticipate that.
Did not anticipate that. I do love Epic Sax Guy, though, and so I'm willing to take it. Musso, what do we got?
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. What videos do you watch most often on YouTube? World Star fights, bloopers, TikToks, or what?
Fights make me uncomfortable. I've never watched TikTok compilations. I imagine they are the same as Vine compilations. I used to watch Vine compilations back in the day.
Vine's better.
I don't know that there has ever been anything as mindless as a 30-minute Vine YouTube video. I mean, you will get sucked in, you will lose all outside perspective, and you will wake up 30 minutes later and be like, what did I just do?
I need to go watch some again. It's been a long time since I've watched them.
It's very nostalgic.
It is.
And it's always like, you're like, oh, that's really funny. Okay, I should probably shut it off. Oh, wait, but just one more. Just one more. And then again, next thing you know, it's been an hour. Lately, though, my YouTube viewing habits, they've all been chess related, right? When I first got into chess a few months ago, somebody in chat told me to check out Agadmator's channel, and I just watched that thing constantly. I'm still doing, like I said, the Paul Morphy saga, the greatest chess players of all time, New Orleans native. Well, Agadmator breaks down all of his games, like 50-something games. I think I'm like 30-something in. It's absolutely fantastic. Gotham Chess is also a very good YouTube channel as well, so that's what I'm watching right now.
There's a lot of interviews on YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like the sports interviews?
It depends. I mean, I could start on one and then just end up on, anything else just about.
Yeah, wherever it takes you.
Yeah, I mean, that's YouTube for you.
Instead of rewatching movies, I'll just watch movie clips of movies that I like on YouTube.
That too.
Okay, just get a little scene. Yeah. That's like when I saw you tweeting about Interstellar, like, those aren't mountains, those are waves. I had a distinct desire to just watch that Interstellar scene.
I always watch that scene like every week.
I never thought about it.
Highlights, too. I watch a lot of highlights, like sports highlights on YouTube.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because that is one of my favorite resources for doing this job. Or when you're trying to watch the NFL as a whole, like, I watch Red Zone and everything, right? But it's a really great resource, the official NFL channel, and they're like 10 to 13-minute game recap videos. They're great for just getting a little taste of what happened in each game.
OTB Mailbag, will you buy Powerball and Mega Millions, and how much will you spend?
I never have. If I was
Really?
going to
You
do it,
never
if I was going to do it, which I probably should, like, why not? I just buy one ticket, though, right? Because, like, I don't know if I'm a believer that, like, I mean, technically, mathematically, sure, you get two, your chances are increased. They're still so infinitesimal. Does it make an actual difference? And then you're not actually committing money to it. So take a flyer, get one ticket, bam. You hope to get lucky.
I don't think anyone in Louisiana has ever won, if I'm correct.
Well, I mean...
There's a first time for everything.
Exactly. So the time to buy is now. Like, what's it up to? Like 300-something million?
Oh, it's way higher than that.
Oh.
Mega Millions is getting close to $1 billion. I think it's about 800 million.
So when do they draw it?
Oh, hell. I don't remember.
I mean, like, do I need to go out there today and buy a ticket?
I mean, you need to buy it soon.
Okay, let's just, it's a safe space, okay? I've never bought a lottery ticket. What do? Do I walk up and just say, I want the Mega Millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never bought one either.
You never bought one either? Okay, exactly. So we're in the same boat. The only experience I ever have with a lottery ticket is at my graduation party senior year. One of my sister's friends gave me a fake ticket. I'm such an idiot. I don't know the difference between a real one and a fake one. I thought I won $50,000. We have it all on tape. I scratched this thing off. I started freaking out. I took off sprinting up the driveway. And in the end, it was nothing. But it did give me some fascinating insight in what it feels like to win the lottery. And it's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling. I can only imagine how, 800 million. What?
Apparently they draw tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, they draw.
800 million. Yeah, I told you it was getting up there close. The last time I bought tickets was when it was over $1 billion, like a couple years ago.
So how much does a ticket cost?
It's not. They're cheap. They're not.
$2, I think.
Yeah, they're not.
Let's roll, boys. I'm getting 100 of them.
Well, see, that's exactly what they want.
No, I'm just kidding. One ticket. One ticket. We'll see.
OTB mailbag. What is the best lick your fingers chip? It's Cheetos. Let's be honest.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
I was between Cheetos and Doritos.
Oh,
Obviously, cheese dust is. I think cheese dust is the premier either way.
Doritos is a good lick your finger chip, though.
I think it's Cheetos. Yeah.
Which Doritos?
Everyone's apps.
And I'm not a Cool Ranch guy. Cool Ranch is fine.
There's other ones though.
Cool Ranch is fine.
There's a bunch of Dorito flavors.
Yeah, but nobody touches a nacho cheese Dorito. Put a nacho cheese.
Mean like nothing comes close to it?
I'm just saying in the Dorito family. All other flavors are what they are.
The
but
spicy nacho is really good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Spicy nacho is better than.
Oh, geez.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I will say this: Mexican Doritos are naturally spicier than American Doritos.
Yeah.
Do they have Mexican spicy Doritos? Because those things are probably very spicy. Because natural Mexican Doritos are already spicy.
I've had the hottest Dorito. I forgot what it's called though. They sell it here in the States.
I like a classic Dorito. I don't think there's a better drunk chip than a classic Dorito. You put a big family-sized bag of Doritos in the middle of a drunken party, and I mean, you could do a National Geographic documentary on that thing. That thing becomes the feeding hole. It gets smashed by everyone. The hot girls, the skinny guy, everybody smashes the family Doritos when you're drunk.
We were standing in line to get into an LSU football game back in college in the student section line, and a couple bags of nacho cheese Doritos were just being passed around the line. It was fantastic. It was great.
Exactly. Oh, my God.
OTB mailbag, do you believe someone when they say, I'm going to be honest with you?
So I actually do, and maybe I'm reading the situation wrong, but I feel like most of the time when somebody says that, they're about to tell you something pretty mean. Or not, maybe not mean, but pretty real, right? Like they're basically saying look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. You suck at this, or you need to improve here, or this is not right. So no, I mean, I think it's almost like I would take that over a no offense, because a no
with all due respect.
Yeah, or with all due respect, because exactly the old Talladega Nights joke. I mean, that stuff's just BS. That's just saying I'm going to say something mean to you, but I don't want you to get upset about it. I'm going to be honest with you, is at least being this is just my view on the situation. So I do actually believe somebody when they say that. Then again, I guess if you're trying to weasel out something, you say, I'm going to be honest with you, then you lie. So I get where he's coming from.
It's going to depend on the situation, because I feel like if I might already know your line anyway, so it might not matter if you say that. But I mean, if I don't know and you say that, yeah, I'm probably going to, I think I believe you.
I guess it's true. I'm just going to start lying, but just telling people I'm going to be honest with you right before I lie. Yeah. Okay, I get it now. That makes a ton of sense. I'm so naive. How did I never consider this before?
OTB mailbag, if you had unlimited money to make the greatest movie of all time, what would you make it about?
Man. I mean, my brain jumped to World War I for some reason, but with 1917 already made last year, there was whenever it was such a masterpiece. And there's They Should Not Grow Old, which is real documentary footage from Peter Jackson that's been restored and upgraded and colorized to HD. I cannot recommend both of those films enough. I've been getting very into the 14th century. I think you could make a very funny medieval movie about the absurdities of medieval society, right? Where everything is just horrible. There's bandits preying on all the regular people. Plague is killing 50% of the people. Think about this. Are you ever a bigger jerk than when you're like 20 to 22 years old? And then understand that because of death rates, all of medieval society was controlled by like 16 to 22-year-olds. Those were the leaders. Those were the guys making the big choices. No wonder everyone was such a-holes. It's so risk-taking. Everybody's just walking around like they're invincible in this time and place. So, yeah, I guess that's what I would make it about, 14th century Europe.
The 2019 LSU football Tigers would be the greatest movie of all time.
I would do sci-fi. It'd be similar to Interstellar because that's one of my favorite movies ever.
Okay.
So the search for life on another planet, basically.
Okay. Get a little, look. One of my favorite sci-fi movies of recent memory that kind of flew under the radar a little bit was Life.
Oh, that was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
I love that movie.
Ryan Reynolds' death scene in that is one of the coolest death scenes you will ever see in a movie. Very disconcerting. I love this answer. William Ivey, make a movie of The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Again, if you have never read the Kingkiller Chronicles, Name of the Wind, and Wise Man's Fear, it is the best fantasy I have ever read, right up there with Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. As an adult, it is the only fantasy I've ever read that's given me those same feelings. Sorry, continue.
OTB mailbag. If you could see one statistic displayed on every person's head, what would you want it to be?
I mean, I guess it depends on what situation you're in. If you're going out to the bar a lot, maybe it's something like how many times this person's got blackout drunk, or how many fights they've gotten into, or something along those. No, maybe like how many drinks they've had. Right, so you kind of know how to approach every single person a little bit. And then it's going to be fascinating when you see the guy who has like 30 and he looks completely fine, or you see the guy who has like 2 and he's acting a fool. You kind of get an idea of who can handle it or not.
This your first time?
Yeah. So give me how many drinks someone has had on that given night. That's the number that I want displayed.
I don't really know. I'd have to really think about that.
It's a great question.
That's why I let you just
No,
go
it's
with that.
a great question, and that's just like a surface level answer. I have no idea. I mean, there's infinitely good answers. Somebody, Kyle Aycock, asking if we are going to get Doors of Stone, which is the 3rd book of the Kingkiller Chronicles. It should be the last one. I don't know. I feel better about getting Doors of Stone than I do the 6th and 7th Game of Thrones books. But again, I think at a certain point, you almost have to make peace with the fact that maybe you never get them, but you still enjoy the ride up until that point and can appreciate it for what it is. Now, it'll ultimately stop both those series from maybe being like the all-time greats, but it will not stop my enjoyment of them, right? It's like Mandalorian. These first 2 seasons were so great, so incredible. No matter what happens from here on out, no matter what they screw up or do, it cannot change the enjoyment that I felt. Like Rise of Skywalker is not very good, but it does not change how much I love The Last Jedi. Still, here's to hoping that we will get Doors of Stone at some point. And yeah, William Ivey, I don't think Rothfuss is ever going to run low on money, unfortunately. All right. Anything else? That's it. Let's go to break. OTB mailbag in the books. Thank you for all of your wonderful questions. We'll be back with more next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com is the site. You can go check them out off of Airline. And whatever your car needs may be. Maybe you're not even sure. Like, if you were like me, maybe you don't know anything beyond I need a new vehicle. And if that is the case, check out the selection at All-Star Toyota. They have incredible deals on the 2021s, which means the 2020s are even a bit better, and the 2019s. And whether you want a Corolla, a Camry, a Tundra, a RAV4, a hybrid, like a Sienna, a minivan, they have it all. They have Toyota certified used vehicles where you're going to get it at a better price because they're used, but you're going to get things that you normally get with a brand new car, like warranties, okay? You can lease, you can buy, you can rent for the weekend. If you just want a minivan for the weekend, the point is All-Star has the answer no matter what your vehicle needs are. So let them be your guide in the wilderness. Go to allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney presented by Richard Tonda from noon to 3. Hunt Palmer continues to sit in for Haney. We'll also be joined by Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio to break down LSU versus Alabama on the hardwood. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTB, Musso, T-Bob, Danny hanging out with you. Just having a discussion, photographing your genitals, sitting them out. Obviously, there is news as the New York Mets GM has been fired this morning. Apparently back in 2016, he was sending unsolicited genitals pictures to a female reporter. That article say he sent 62 messages in a row?
It's the number I've seen. 62. The way it was worded was 62 straight text messages.
Without an answer. That's sociopathic.
That's aggressive.
That's psychotic. Let's be painfully clear. That is a man who sent a picture, panicked when he didn't get a reply. That panic maybe turned into anger, and then he just said, you know what, I'm going to beat this door down as he beats something else, and he just continued to send and send and send. And look, there are many times in life where full send is the correct attitude, right? You're playing football. What do you always say? Don't go half-stepping in the hole. You're trying to do some extreme sports. Full send. You're that funny YouTube Canadian dude who rides the snowmobile around and does all the crazy. You know I'm going to send that. Full send, okay? Do not full send your genitals. That is the off-the-bench lesson of the day. I think it's a hard and fast rule. Hard and fast. Now, granted, look, if you're in a relationship, if you're comfortable with it, consenting adults can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, still recognize that when you put that into the digital ether, it is then engraved in digital stone, and there is a chance that it ends up somewhere that you don't want it to be. Just recognize that, even if it's in a consenting relationship. But, never, ever, under no circumstances, send unsolicited genitals pictures. If you do, you will eventually get fired. I mean, this is just how life works. It really, this cat sent him in 2016. There's no excuse at that point. Maybe 2020, we're a little more enlightened, a little more educated on the nature of genitals pics and the viral nature by which they can get around and how wrong it is to send it to someone unsolicited. But in 2016, we already knew that, right? We already had the Brett Favre controversy. We already had all of these different examples of why you shouldn't. But hey, 62 messages in a row. He was panicking. That's just full-blown panic at that point. And now he is fired as probably his dream job. I think he was a scout for the Cubs at the time. You work your way up to being the GM of the New York Mets, and it was your own damn horniness that brought you down.
Said that the selfies were of him, but the genital pics were not. Those were just like some stock photos.
Oh, my God, dude. He's a coward then. He's a creep and a coward at that point. So not only, I mean, come on, dude. That's even like more wrong in a weird way, because then you're really just, it's all harassment. But for some reason in my brain, it's even more weird when you're just sending random pictures of genitalia to someone that aren't even in your own. If you're going to be creepy, at least have the balls to show your own balls, you punk. That's gross. We're going to move on. But again, never send genital pics. That's the point, okay? So there are certain rules in life that if you live by, you will live a fulfilled life, right? Like I don't care if you're religious or not. If you listen to the 10 Commandments, you'll have a fulfilled life. You don't kill people. You don't steal stuff. You don't get jealous of your neighbor. You be content. These are all core values. Well, the 11th commandment should read, do not send genital pictures, ever. And you'll live a fulfilled life. Speaking of living a fulfilled life, my life is fulfilled with excellent sports. And tonight we have LSU and Alabama and the PMAC. Now, we did not talk to Coach Wade this morning, but that does not mean that he did not talk about the game. Here is Coach Wade offering a little Alabama Crimson Tide preview.
I mean, Alabama's playing, obviously they're in first place in the conference. They're 6-0. They're perfect in league play, but they're not just playing as well as anybody in the conference. They're playing as well as anybody in the country right now. They're just playing phenomenal basketball, shooting the ball really well, shooting the ball 40% plus from three in league play. They've got some really good veteran guys with Herb Jones and Petty. Petty just set the all-time three-point record at Alabama in their last game over Arkansas. Reese is a guy who's been around a long time. He's been a real problem for us over the last couple years, so we're going to do a good job on him. They've had a talented transfer with Quinterly, talented freshman with Primo, good JUCO transfer with 14. And Shackelford, of course, was one of the best players in the league last year. So got tremendous talent, tremendous team, and it'll be a very, very stiff test for us. Our defense is going to have to be better. Our offense is going to have to be crisper. We can't turn the ball over as much as well.
Tremendous talent, tremendous team. So with that challenge, playing one of the teams that's playing like one of the best teams in the entire country, as Coach Wade just alluded to, what are the keys to a win against the Crimson Tide?
Well, our transition defense has got to be much better. We've got to rebound, and we've got to not turn the ball over. Part of our defensive numbers being so bad is we hand the ball to the other team 5 times a game for a layup. I mean, our defensive numbers I shouldn't say they're that bad. They're 3rd or 4th in league play. But, if we quit handing them the ball 5 times a game, our defense would be much, much better. And if we do turn it over, we need to punt it in the stands where we can at least get back and set our defense up. And then, we're going to have to get back in transition defense. They're so good. Auburn took the lead on them twice, and before Auburn the scoreboard operator could flip the score, Alabama had gone down and got an and one both times. And then we've got to check them out. They're a very good offensive rebounding team. Defensive rebounding is not one of our strong suits.
So there you go. What do you got to do tonight? You got to crash the defensive boards. You got to defend the perimeter. You got to defend transition. If you do these things, I think LSU's scoring will take over, and you may come away with a win. But what a fantastic Tuesday night matchup, number 1 versus number 2 in the SEC, in the PMAC. I cannot wait for it. When we get back, we will close out our number 1 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to landwaagency.com, landwaagency.com for all of your insurance needs. Bundle your home, bundle your auto. If you're a small business owner and you need protection, Landwa is the answer. I get my flood insurance from Landwa. Not technically in a flood zone, but what that means is they got me max coverage at an incredible rate. So I have peace of mind. And what else is insurance about but having peace of mind? And that's great. But at Landwa, they proved that maybe it is about a bit more, right? Maybe it's about customizing policies to your customer's specific needs. Maybe it's about actively trying to save them money wherever you can. Maybe it's about working with their best interests at heart when they have to file claims. And if you don't have any of that, get that with Landwa. And maybe you're like, but T-Bob, I'm already happy in my insurance relationship. Okay, well, like anything else, put it to the test. Go to landwaagency.com, call them up today, and see what they can offer you. I made the switch, and I've never looked back. I'm a multi-year satisfied customer. landwaagency.com.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us as we put a button on the Saints season and the latest on the Ryan Nielsen LSU reports. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Closing up our numero dos. Not nombre, which means name. For you Spanish initiates out there, I've advanced, obviously. Okay, so I have like a little smattering of topics that we can maybe close out the hour with. Where do I want to start? Actually, you know what? Since we just talked about the text, bring up the text. Because this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So I guess that's the guy. What's his name? Do we know yet?
Oh, his name's Jared Porter.
Okay, yeah, Jared Porter. Met GM. So I guess this is how it started, was him sending weird selfies. You're so pretty. Do you have a boyfriend yet? No answer. Go to the next screen grab there, Danny. This is where the cringe starts to kick in. He sends a bulge picture, followed by, again, no answer to any of this. Am I annoying you? An old school sad emoji, like an actual typed out emoji, which I'm kind of nostalgic for in a way. So that was on Wednesday. 2.5 hours later, sends another sad face emoji along with "Why won't you answer me, beautiful?" Still no answer. Continue on, Danny. And this is where it gets ultimately sad. That is a picture of genitals, or reportedly not his genitals. We're not sure. No answer. He then follows it up with a question mark. Are you there? Question mark. Mad at me. Another sad face emoji. Come to LA. You can watch blank work out and watch blank play. Oh, I mean, dude, the levels to this. It's just pathetic. Can you imagine having all of this go public? How do you stare your coworkers in the face? How do you talk to them about how do you do anything after people know how hard you... It's just kind of cringy. And there's an element of me that loves engaging in cringe. /r/cringe. Cringe pics is great. It probably belongs on there. But yeah, I mean, really the funniest text to me is probably the one at the end where he's like, okay, my sad guilting attempts and genital pictures aren't working. Maybe I can entice her with some perks of the job, right? Kind of change them. Hey, come to LA. You can watch blank play. Dude, it ain't happening. 62 texts in a row without the answer. Probably should have quit after 30. Maybe it was just like he's all in at that point. He just kept rolling. How about this? For the Pelicans, would you do this deal? Boys, listen up. I think this trade comes out of thin air, but there's a few articles that have been written on it, but it's one of those things where there's no substance. I think one person wrote the article and the other people just did it for clicks. The Pelicans send J.J. Redick, Eric Bledsoe, Jackson Hayes, 2021 first-round pick, top 5 protected, a 2023 first-round pick, the one from L.A., and a 2024 first-round pick swap from Milwaukee. Who do they send it to? To Brooklyn. Who do they get in return? Kyrie. Danny, I see you smiling back there. Are you about affecting that trade? JJ, Eric Bledsoe, and Jackson Hayes. Nobody super untouchable there. First round pick that's top 5 protected. That's okay. The LA first round pick and then that Milwaukee pick swap, which granted, both those are going to be low first round picks. Are you willing to give that up for Kyrie Irving?
No, Kyrie Irving's a cancer. He ruins every team he's on. He's a beast, but he's a cancer teammate.
The best memes in the NBA right now are the Kyrie memes of somebody trying to celebrate with the group, even though they're not really a part of the group, given that the Nets keep winning now with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie's. Well, we don't know what Kyrie is doing. He's chilling. Greg LeMond saying the same thing. I do not want anything to do with Kyrie Williams laws. Hell no. Man, look, dude. Christian Gordon asked about the text. What if she just deleted her responses and then screenshot it? Possible. However, I don't think the evidence is on the side of that happening because of the timestamps worked out. Also, are you there? I'm just going to say that kind of it kind of tells the story right there. He sold himself out. If she said, are you there? I don't think she's answering. Avo Marzawani, keep Kyrie the F away. Okay. All right, I get it. Maybe my eyes got a little big there. I get a little big. I just think about Kyrie and Zion and Brandon Ingram. Got a little excited. I still think that sounds very exciting. I think there's probably little to no chance that Kyrie would be happy in New Orleans. He couldn't make it work in all these other places. What do you think? Do you think he plays for the Nets again? Do you think he gets this thing straight? I think he will eventually. He's been good when he has played this year.
Maybe in the playoffs.
I would say that I thought it would be the most toxic situation ever up in Brooklyn, but KD and James look like they're great together. And I know we said it yesterday, but James Harden finessed us all. I don't know if it was a fat suit. I don't know if it was wearing some sort of warming pads on his ribs. I don't know if he was purposely over-drinking water in order to get bloated, but that man finessed everybody. And I kind of have come to appreciate it, just like I appreciate the services of Central Plumbing. If I have any plumbing issues, I go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. I call 925-8552. Why do I do these things? Because they take care of my plumbing problems without me lifting a finger. And it doesn't matter if it's simple or complex. The bottom line that Central Plumbing can fix it all because they've seen it all. They've been doing it for over 4 decades, y'all. And when you look at their humble beginnings to the massive fleet that they have now, you only go through that growth if your customers are consistently satisfied. I'm a consistently satisfied customer. You will be too. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552 for all of your plumbing needs. 2 hours in the books. 1 hour left. Got a lot to talk about.
Off the bench.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
From Corval Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a new Camry for $335 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, January the 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect to see sunny skies with a high of 75. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up on OTBOT, Scott Kushner of the New Orleans Advocate, the Times-Picayune, stops by at 9:30. Follow the show today on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. You can watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel and interact inside the Bayou Ford chat. Make sure you get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back to Off the Bench. OTBOT begins now, which nowadays I don't know if it's just anything more than a little bit of a branding change. T-Bop, Musso, and Danny hanging out with you. It is Tuesday, which means we got our normal OTBOT segments. And by segments, I mean segment. We'll close the book on the NFL week. That was, unfortunately. We'll talk playoffs, quarterfinals. Again, I opened the show here. I'll go here again. I would direct you to theathletic.com to an excellent, poignant article by Miss Kat Terrell about Drew Brees and a man who had nothing left to give to the city of New Orleans when it was all said and done. And I can't help but be reminded of Shel Silverstein's masterpiece, The Giving Tree, where that tree gave everything he had to that boy in the same way Drew gave everything he had to this city. And in the end, he was nothing but a stump. But still, he gave. Help the old man sit down a little bit. Well, Drew Brees, we thank you for everything that you've given the city. I mean, maybe Tyron Matthew on Twitter said it best yesterday. Being from New Orleans, Drew Brees meant everything to us in that city. And many times our only hope, to smile and feel good, to live in a winning reality. That man gave us all life. None are perfect, but he was close. Salute. Hashtag 9 forever at Drew Brees. Man, a honey badger. Saying it best. I love Shell Silverstein as well. Where the Sidewalk Ends is absolutely fantastic. If you're a dreamer, come in. If you're a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. If you're a pretender, come sit by my fire, for we've got some flax golden tales to spin. Come in. Come in. Welcome to OTBOT. We had some of that. So we closed a little bit of James Harden talk. People saying Harden, Durant, or Lewis Burner. Harden, Durant aren't the problem. Harden and Kyrie will be the issue. Durant is the only one of the three that can play off the ball and be effective. Harden and Kyrie are going to hate each other. Ooh, nothing would make me happier than if some drama would evolve between two of the most toxic players in the NBA. That would be fantastic. Brad Diggy, I live in Houston. Harden is a cancer. Like everyone has said, his style is great, but it won't win you a championship. You basically live and die by his play and if he is on or not. Yeah, unfortunately, Houston fans are just all too familiar with Harden absolutely blowing it in Game 7s. Did y'all see the Shaq comment from a week ago that was so good? He talked about how you didn't really lay it on, like you did not show up when it mattered. So you didn't give everything that you had to Houston. And then, of course, he forced his way out. I think the Rockets are going to be okay. No John Wall. Oladipo goes for 32. They lose, but Oladipo and John Wall can carry you to the playoffs potentially. Look, if you want to go ahead and if you want to go ahead, hit the like button, share the post. That helps us as well. As we are about to dive into something that I've been waiting anxiously to talk about all day long, and that is the Tennessee Titans. Excuse me, I screwed that up. The Tennessee Volunteers. As Tennessee is an absolute disaster right now, but it's one of those excellent disasters that's so juicy and so good that even though we don't have a rooting interest in Tennessee, I can't help but look. I am metaphorically rubbernecking as I pass by the burning dumpster fire that is the Tennessee football program, and I'm like, oh my God, look at that, dude, because it's awesome. David Ubbin tweeted yesterday, Tennessee Volunteers fired their head coach Jeremy Pruitt along with a slew of others. And in their termination letter to Pruitt, quote, your failures are likely to lead to significant penalties to the university and have jeopardized the eligibility of our student athletes. They said, and has jeopardized. I believe that's grammatically incorrect, which if that is, that's a horrible job being grammatically incorrect in a termination letter that should engage with a lot of legalese. But beyond that, the best part about this is your failures, right? Significant penalties of what we learned. The best part about that is the investigation was led by the school itself. Tennessee initiated an investigation against their own head coach. Why? In order to fire him with cause. In order to avoid something that is very relevant, given that we talked about it yesterday, the $12 million buyout. And after our logical insanity discussion yesterday, right, where we talked about how do you pull out of this buyout tailspin? It's so out of control. Yet if you want to hire a major coach, there's no way around it because they'll never sign the contract unless they have the buyout that everybody else has. So the question becomes, once you enter this vicious cycle, how do you pull out? Because it's accelerating. From 2007 to 2013, it was like, 30-something million buyouts? From 2013 to now, I believe it was like 130-something million. So a quadrupling. Where does it end? It ends with this logically insane tactic by Tennessee. It's a logically insane solution to not having to pay pointless money. Let's investigate our own coach. You know there's going to be something, right? There's always something. It doesn't have to be extreme. It could be ticky-tack. It just has to be enough to get you for cause. I guess I can't help but feeling a little bad for Jeremy Pruitt. All the other bad coaches are getting hooked up with the buyout dream. He's going to have to go straight back to work. That's got to be a little frustrating. Where, if there were a bunch of violations, where do you think Jeremy Pruitt would have learned these violations from? Anybody have any idea? Any idea where did he coach before Tennessee?
He was at Georgia for a time.
Okay,
maybe there, possibly. Yeah.
I feel like there was somewhere else. Where was he right before he got the Tennessee job?
I think he was at Alabama.
Oh, that's right. He was the Alabama DC. Huh. Fascinating. Fascinating how that works out. Anyway, though, so Tennessee, kind of credit to them. They've at least for the short term managed to avoid paying Pruitt his buyout. But that does come with a bit of risk, and it's twofold. First, I think this job is now one of the most unattractive jobs in the entire country. Between the fan uprising against Schiano, Phil Fulmer having the poison pill to get his man in place and get Pruitt in there. Phil Fulmer is now out. They just launched an investigation to fire their own coach. So they literally worked at odds with him, which whatever. Like, again, I'm not paying the buyout. Congrats. But if I'm a coach, why would I want to go there? Everything about Tennessee right now feels pretty toxic. I also think maybe even the greater risk for Tennessee is that Jeremy Pruitt is not going to take this sitting down. He's going to put his thumb down and he's going to hire a lawyer and they will go after Tennessee. And who knows, does Tennessee have to open up the books? The legality of this challenged? I mean, I'm guessing it would probably react in a settlement out of court where Pruitt still gets something, maybe not the full $12 million buyout. But yeah, Tennessee not in a good spot right now. An administration that the coaches would feel did not support the coaches, potential violations on the way due to their own investigation. And Daniel Basham says the best. Pruitt doesn't need the buyout because he has plenty left from his royalties in his role as the Thumbs in Spy Kids. Do you remember those guys in Spy Kids? Spy Kids, Robert Rodriguez did good for himself with the Spy Kids movies. He's also parlayed that into Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I think there's a new Netflix show based on Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Shout out to Robert Rodriguez. Also shout out to him for directing one of the best episodes of Mandalorian season 2. So the Pruitt Tennessee conversation is hilarious. We'll see where it goes, where the potential legal fight goes. But what do y'all think about some potential names to replace him as the Tennessee head coach? Certainly Kevin Steele is probably the name. As Matthew pointed out earlier in the show, Kevin Steele has been named interim head coach, meaning he is the interim head coach of as many SEC programs in as many weeks. It's been 2 weeks. He's been 2 interim coaches from Auburn to where after they hired Harrison, he obviously was like, go. And last week, he were like, this is foreshadowing. Something's coming. You don't just do this without anything coming down the road. And sure enough, it's happened. Kevin Steele makes a lot of sense to me in the short term for both parties, right? Kevin Steele is not going to get a head coaching job anywhere else. I don't think Tennessee is going to be able to attract the quality of coach that they would probably think they are deserving of. And so it would make sense to let's just ride this thing out, see what the penalties are. Kevin Steele, sure, if you do good for a year, maybe you get a big contract afterwards. Some other names that are potentially out there. Tom Herman. What do you think? He's got a great winning percentage, straight from Texas.
If Tennessee could hire Tom Herman, they should absolutely do that.
Yeah, so that is like, why the hell would Tom Herman?
If they can pull that off, they should absolutely do that. Because did Tom Herman have the success that I think many expected him to have at Texas? No, but that's because people thought he would return them, to the playoff and whatnot. But he still won a lot.
He's still
of
a good coach. Yeah. Like
Tennessee football would give an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
For what Tom Herman did at Texas.
He would be the dream for fans. Bill O'Brien would be another dream. Now, of course, Bill O'Brien is in line to be Alabama's offensive coordinator. And the sad part is offensive coordinator at Alabama is more attractive than head coach at Tennessee. If that doesn't give you an idea of how toxic the Tennessee situation has become, I actually believe that's probably how O'Brien would evaluate the situation. Though, given his GM history, we don't really know what to make of Bill O'Brien's evaluations all the time. Hugh Freeze makes a ton of sense, like on multiple levels. First off, I think Tennessee would feel very confident that he would win games. I think that Hugh Freeze would, I think he would be okay with, look, if I'm going to get back in the SEC, maybe I have to accept a bit of a fractured situation to get in.
A lot of people have rumored and reported that Tennessee's always been his dream job.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, that's exactly what I'd be saying about Hugh Freeze, too.
But if you're Tennessee, do you really want to hire Hugh Freeze when you have an NCAA investigation possibly on your hands?
I think Tennessee would jump at the chance to hire Hugh Freeze. I wonder how much pressure Greg Sankey would apply to the situation. There's always reports of him kind of telling people to stay away from Freeze.
Clear, yeah.
And here's the only other thing with Freeze, though. Why go back to the SEC? Why not wait for a job to open up in another conference? Like, why not go to the ACC and actually have a chance of winning the conference? Why not go to the Big 12 and have a chance of winning the conference? I just feel like jumping back into the SEC right now, it probably just results in you getting fired again because you lose to Alabama every year. Billy Napier, please, no chance. Tennessee, it's a name that's out there, but he said no to Auburn. He ain't saying yes to Tennessee. And then finally, here's actually maybe the best fit. And that's Coastal Carolina coach Jamie Chadwell. Never coached the Power 5, so you would think that he would like kind of maybe jump at the chance. And then unlike a guy like Hugh Freeze, I think it's going to be tougher for Chadwell to kind of earn that spot, make that jump, since he's never proven it on that bigger level. If I'm Tennessee, what do I have to lose? He's proven that he can take a bad situation and make it better. When you look at the rise in his 3 years at Coastal Carolina, it is kind of mind-blowing. And
you could probably get him for about $3 million a year, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get him cheap. Like, it just makes sense on multiple levels. And, hey, if it doesn't work, it literally can't be worse than now. But, like, I would almost guarantee that he will be better than Jeremy Pruitt. There was really no reason to hire Pruitt in the first place besides the fact that he had Nick Saban attached to his name. I think it's also, though, a sign of how bad the Tennessee job that if I was Chadwell, I would still maybe steer clear. But we'll see. So what will Tennessee do? I'm guessing they just stick with Kevin Steele as the interim, but we'll know more over the next couple of weeks. All right, when we get back, we still got Scott Kushner talking Pels at 9:30. And then before that, coming up next, we're going to do our NFL roundup as we talk quarterfinals. And, unfortunately, the Saints lost. Here on OTBOT.
OTBOT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Happy New Year from Corval Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a Corolla for $239 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 1045ESPN.com, the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, live from Doe's Eat Place. Big game for LSU basketball as the Tigers welcome Alabama into town. We break it all down starting at 6 p.m. Come out and see us or tune in to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTBOT. T-Bob Musso, Danny, hanging out with you. I was just reading about like buyouts and everything, and reading an article Godfrey had, and he's talking about the drama over a Kansas buyout from Beatty, the coach that was there before Les Miles. Again, buyouts are so out of control that even at Kansas, he had a $3 million buyout despite winning 4 games in like 4 or 5 years. It's just insane how much you can get paid for being bad at your job. They're in a legal issue, but it just made me think, like, what if you're a Kansas football player right now? How do you feel? I guess you're happy. You're happy if you're on scholarship, right? Because your school is getting paid for, but like you just have no hope. There's no brighter day on the horizon. I don't think Coach Miles is really doing much except for like collecting a check at this point. Crazy. Speaking of things that are kind of depressing to think about, we're going to talk about this last weekend's NFL playoffs. We do it every Tuesday. We close the book on the NFL week that was. Musso, give me a little bed music. It started off Saturday afternoon in a game that kind of felt decided before it even began, and that was the Los Angeles Rams against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. Saints fans are kind of watching this thing anxiously, depending on who wins. Would you be in the Superdome next week? Would you be in Lambeau? As we know, you're not going to be anywhere, but there was some interest there at the time. To me, the big takeaway here is simply that the Packers look like the NFC team to beat. They look far stronger than anyone. You saw a Rams defensive line that absolutely decimated Russell Wilson. He was absolutely horrible. What does Aaron Rodgers do? 23 of 36, 296, and 2 scores.
To be fair, Aaron Donald was hurt and was limited in the game.
That's fair. I don't know if he makes up for a 14-point difference.
I never really got the Rams could do this take for this
game.
It
was just, it was just all the defense.
I never saw that. But again, you have a limited Aaron Donald going into that game. You knew that the week prior.
Limited quarterback.
Jared Goff,
super limited quarterback at the time.
Either way, you were going to have a limited quarterback. Even if you don't start Goff and you can start Walford versus Rodgers.
The most surprising part about this, and what is going to make the Packers unstoppable if they can continue this, is how they ran the ball. They ran for 188 yards. Aaron Jones goes 14 carries, 99, 7 yards a carry. Jamal Williams, 12 carries, 65 yards, 5.5 yards a carry. If they stop, if they're running the ball like that, you got no chance of stopping Rodgers. As far as Goff is concerned, a valiant performance. Probably looks a little bit better on paper than it actually was, 21 to 27, but only for 174 and a score. So a very To me, that is the ultimate Sean McVay kind of manufactured Jared Goff performance where you were trying to put him in really easy decision points. His thumb's messed up. He can't make the big throws. Let's try to kill them with like death by 1,000 cuts, right? But in the end, there was just it was a lot like how it felt to watch this Saints offense. There was just nothing explosive about the offense. And more nowadays, it seems like come playoff time, you need some of that explosivity if you're going to win a Super Bowl.
Good on Jared Goff, too, man, for getting out there and going through the injury. That's very similar to the injury that Drew Brees had last year, and that kept him out 5 games. And Goff missed 1 game and was back for the playoffs.
I mean, look, you got Big Wit out there, just like a couple months removed from a torn LCL and PCL, setting the tone. You got to go, too. So good on Goff. Yeah, man, good on Goff for going, but just not enough in the end. But to nobody's surprise, Packers look like the team to beat in the NFC. That was followed up with a little Saturday night action. Most boring game of the weekend, I would probably say, though there were some points of excitement. Bills 17, Ravens 3. This game turned on a dime or on a nickel and a penny. Get it? Pick six? I tried. It was 10-3, Ravens driving, looking like they were going to tie the game up. Next thing you know, over a 100-yard pick return for a touchdown, and that was all she wrote. Don't look now, boys, but the Buffalo Bills are going to the AFC Championship. Let's go. Bills Mafia, rise up. Traveling to Kansas City, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. I can't wait to talk about it. Takeaways from this game, though. Okay, so this is interesting. We talked about this, right? This idea that the 2 seed means less than it used to, but it means more for outdoor teams. You saw that in this game. Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks. When's the last time that happened? Nobody could complete a pass. The wind was out of control. So the natural elements of Buffalo played directly into their hands. A bit surprising, though, right? Given the fact that, you think, okay, Ravens want to run the ball. That's what they do. You would, as we mentioned, when Buffalo had lost, because the teams had been able to run the ball, you would have thought that would have benefited the Ravens. Where I become kind of fascinated is that Brian Daboll said, look, I don't care if it's windy. We're throwing it. We're not good at running the ball. We saw a Baltimore Raven team shut down Derrick Henry. Like, we're going to do what we do well. And so they end up running the ball just 16 times, and a lot of that came later in the game when they had the lead, almost all of it. They threw the ball 37 times in this win, and Josh Allen just enough. 23 of 37, 206, and a score from Allen. Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, a bit of a disappointing playoff performance, and it's on the heels of the win. Now, thankfully, if you're a Lamar fan, I think he helped himself out by getting the win. Like we said, everything else was lanyap for him from then on out. Still, it's not great for his overall playoff numbers to complete just over 50%, no touchdowns, and a pick. And didn't find the success on the ground that you would have hoped for this game. But, the Buffalo Bills, man, getting it done, 17-3, moving on to the AFC Championship. Any thoughts on this one, boys?
Not really. I mean, like you said, it was probably the most boring game of the weekend. I mean, the games on Saturday really weren't anything to write home about.
No, that's
I think
fair.
you had clear – the better team was clear in both matchups, and the better team won in both matchups, and they move on. That's really all I got.
Booker's right again. Booker was right again. On his Lamar Jackson take.
Oh, my God.
He's gonna come blazing tomorrow.
Hi, Booker, you son of... I had forgotten that we have to deal with Booker tomorrow in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers thing. I had completely forgotten it, Danny. You just reminded me. That makes me so infuriated that he managed to bide his time, and then Tom Brady rewarded him. I know you had nothing left to give, Drew, but it would have been nice to get just a little bit of that. Next on the list, Sunday got kicked off with a really exciting one. Kansas City Chiefs at the Cleveland Browns. Credit to the Browns making this one infinitely closer than anyone would have thought. They even fumble a ball out of bounds that looks like that would have just by the final score ended up being the difference in the game. Browns lose 22-17. They do cover, however, credit to them. But, I mean, this game looked out of control at first. Pat Mahomes' first 2 drives went down the field like it was nothing, man. Made it look easy. Cut through the Browns. And it's so scary. When Pat Mahomes wants to beat you, I just don't know that you can stop him. More Mahomes in a second as he ends up leaving the game with a concussion. And we talked about it yesterday. Chad Henne comes in as the big 3rd and 14 instead of 4th and inches. Andy Reid with the balls to throw it, and they end up winning the game. That's winning football. When you talk about conceptually the aggression that you want to see out of your coach and not being scared, trying to create wins, what you saw Andy Reid out of Andy Reid there was winning football. And it's a far cry from some other coaching decisions that you see. Did y'all see the Tyreek Hill clip?
Oh, of him pushing his coach?
Yeah.
I did see that.
Bruh, that's crazy. Like, he for real pushed that man like he was trying to fight him. Yeah. He almost knocked him off his feet. I mean, I guess you could say he's just treating him like his family. I think I saw that joke online. It's not my joke. I meant seeing it. I saw it online.
We all thought it hasn't really surprised me.
That's on Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that's on Tyreek Hill for his own sordid past. Okay? But you can't push your coach, dude. That's a bad look. I wonder what Andy Reid did to him to discipline him. But look, so now the question is, what's the deal with Pat Mahomes? Can he pass concussion protocol in time?
I saw a report last night that he actually does not have a concussion. He has a pinched nerve in his neck that they are now monitoring.
That seems like a spin zone. Because he wobbled when he got up.
But they say it's because, I mean, that if you pinch a nerve in your neck, that's going to affect your equilibrium.
Oh, that's terrifying then. If that's the actual case, I would rather take a concussion in terms of being able to figure it out.
But it makes sense, though. Think about the hit. I mean, there was no blow to his head on that hit at all.
I just assumed
he was collared around the neck and drugged down.
Yeah, no, and it was not a dirty hit. And for what it's worth, Mac Wilson, the guy who hit Mahomes, actually tweeted, "Prayers to Patrick Mahomes. I pray you're back next week. Go be great like you have been." Mahomes did quote tweet him, said, "All good, brother," with a flexing arm emoji. I just thought that you're right. It doesn't look violent on the head, and it is right around his neck, so those are all good points. I just thought that maybe his face mask hit with a little more force than we realized. Maybe it was that tug at the end. That's kind of scary, though. Because when he wobbled, he looked like a fighter that was punch drunk.
He did.
Which apparently automatically enters him in the concussion protocol. The median time for quarterbacks returning from that was 7 days, so kind of a coin flip as to not to get it. But now I don't know, because if it's a pinched nerve, who knows? The bottom line is that I think I speak for everyone when I hope that he can play. An AFC championship without Pat Mahomes would be such a huge bummer. I mean, no disrespect to Chad Henne. I loved all the Hennessy jokes. I loved Mahomes' tweet after the game, "Anything is possible" with Kevin Garnett. Like, the memes, as always, were fantastic. But I want Pat Mahomes versus Josh Allen. If I can't have Drew Brees anymore, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen all squaring up on a weekend sounds a bit like football erotica. And so I'm into it. And then finally, closing out the week that was and the season that was and maybe the career that was for the New Orleans Saints. The Saints lose the Bucs 30-20. I don't have anything else to say here. Does anybody have anything to add?
I mean, we kind of beat this to death yesterday. You can't turn the ball over that many times. Yeah. That is the difference in the football game. I know they did not score touchdowns on those first 2 early possessions, and
it's really bad too.
That is an emphasis, but still, the 21 points off of 4 turnovers is the difference in that game.
And I'm still mad at Carl Granderson for a block in the back that did not need to happen that took away a Deontay Harris touchdown. Would have changed the entire game. And Jared Cook, we're still upset with you. And Dan Campbell, we're still upset with you for leaving and being Jared Cook's coach and not teaching high and tight. And Saints, just let Ryan Nielsen leave. Please, just let Ryan Nielsen leave. LSU needs a defensive coordinator. All right. Talk to Scott Kushner about the Pellies when we get back next here on OTBOT.
OTB, OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
From Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a new Camry for $335 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny presented by Richard Tonda from noon to 3. Hunt Palmer continues to sit in for Hanny. We'll also be joined by Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio to break down LSU versus Alabama on the hardwood. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB OT. T-Bob Musso, Dan Nee, hanging out with you. And right now it's my pleasure to be joined by one of my favorite writers, Scott D. Kushner. Of course, you already know he covers the Pelicans for the Times Pick and the Advocate. He hosts the Poke and Kush podcast, which you can check out. And as I said, his Twitter bio, 2 kids, 2 jobs. Scott, oddly enough, Tennessee alumnus is nowhere to be found on the Twitter bio. Am I wrong there? I mean, you are a Tennessee alumnus, correct?
I am indeed a Tennessee alumnus. We try not to brag about that.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the old news yesterday. Y'all let go of the thumb. You self-investigated to let him go with no buyout. Which, look, we talked about the logical insanity of coaches' buyouts and how out of control it got. I applaud y'all for finding a way out of it. How are you feeling about your Volunteers today?
You know, we're a beacon of integrity, T-Bob. That's what this is all about, okay? The University of Tennessee stands for something greater than the University of North Carolina and all of those other places. You know, like maybe a school whose head basketball coach has been investigated by the FBI, but they won't do anything about it. We are a beacon of integrity, and we stand for what's right and just in America. And I'm sorry if that, you know, maybe you don't have to pay your football coach $20 million on the way out the door. But, you know, this is what happens when you stand for America and justice and liberty.
Well
and
said.
Apple pie.
Well said. Beautiful spin zone by Mr. Kushner there. Let's be clear. Allegedly, if it applies to everything here at LSU. Let's talk Pels, though, Scott. As in classic Pelicans they lose the 2 national television games last week. And then in the, if a tree falls in a woods game, when the Saints are playing for their – it's Brady versus Breeze. The Pelicans have a basketball game going on at the same time, and they finally break their 5-game losing streak. What did they finally do on Sunday to get back on the right track that maybe they hadn't done in the week previous?
They played the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, that's fair.
That helped. That went a long way. No, I mean, they did a lot of stuff well, but it's very hard to know how much of that was progress versus playing the worst defense in the NBA. So, you know, it's hard to pinpoint it, but certainly they did a lot of things really well. Zion really, got untethered for the first time in a while. Like, he was completely unstoppable, and I think he was 14 for 15 from the field. They were living at the free throw line. They were scoring when they wanted. And Sacramento is very bad, to be fair, defensively. But the Pelicans, which I honestly didn't know they were capable of taking advantage of a really bad defense. But they were more than capable of it. They scored like 90 points halfway through the third quarter. They had a little slowdown, but for the most part, they really just kind of outscored Sacramento. And I don't know how much Van Gundy didn't seem particularly pleased by anything. He's very rarely pleased these days. But it was very good for them just to get a win. I think that goes a long way for them.
And so maybe a kind of a get-right game in Sacramento, going to be a tough one tonight at 8. Pelicans at the Utah Jazz. When you look at the Pelicans thus far, there was the 4-2 start. Everybody's very excited. Now you're 5-7. I mean, look, the guys that you were relying on for shooting aren't shooting the ball well. It seems like maybe you have some depth issues. Maybe guard play's been inconsistent. What are the biggest issues plaguing this Pelicans team? And if they are going to be playoff relevant, like, what do they need to fix?
The thing that feels like the most fixable is just the lack of depth that they have. So, they're really like a 7-person team when it comes to competent players. And one of those 7 hasn't been playing particularly well, which is J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
So Alexander Walker's come on a little bit. That's helped them, in the absence of Lonzo Ball. But Jackson Hayes still really isn't, a reliable player at this point. And you just don't have a lot of depth there. And that's something that you certainly could shore up over the next, few months, particularly at the trade deadline, especially if you're going to move Lonzo Ball, which I think that's probably the most likely scenario at this point. So the depth has been bad. You've lost in stretches where Zion and Ingram aren't out there. It's pretty obvious slippage. And the other one, like you mentioned there, is shooting. J.J. Redick and Nicola Melli, this team is already light on shooting. No matter what, they would have had a problem as a team that, doesn't shoot it particularly well. And their 2 best shooters abjectly suck. Like, they're not just kind of like off. Like, they suck. Like, they suck by any standard. Like, they're throwing up some of the worst numbers in the NBA. Like, not just like, oh, J.J. Redick's the best shooter of all time. Like, he should be shooting 40-something%. It's like, oh, yeah, well, he's in the high 30s. Like, no, he's in the 20s. Like, it is very bad. he's shooting, like, like Al Farouk Aminu did when he was here. Like, this is a disaster because he doesn't do anything else other than shoot. So those minutes become very problematic for the Pelicans. So, yeah, when those two guys can't make a shot, you've really limited what you can do offensively to a large degree.
So in looking for a salve, obviously, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has done some really nice things. Like, how do you feel about his development? Is he the answers to some of these scoring problems, looking for that kind of third generator of points?
Yeah, and that's the issue is that, like, he's probably – you can see progression. Like, that's a good thing that you can see where he's come from to where he is now. But is he ready to be, like, the third person on a team that needs, a contributor of that level? I think that's probably a lot to ask of him, considering where he's at and what he's actually achieved to this point. He's I don't think you can be upset about his growth as a player, but I don't think he's at anywhere close to the point where you can be like, all right, well, this guy is going to help, you become a playoff team this year. I just have not seen that. He has good moments. He had a really good game against the Clippers, then he had a terrible game against the Lakers. So that's the kind of stuff that happens with young players, especially ones who haven't gotten a lot of run. When they do get out there, you kind of are going to see an up and down performance. So I think probably the most important thing for his development, honestly, and just kind of the future of the franchise, is you got to get Lonzo Ball out of there, if only to clear out minutes to see if Alexander Walker can be that third guy. Because that is a really important question this team can't really answer until you get Ball out of the mix.
Were they? Do you think, did Van Gundy kind of misstep, or Griffin, whoever you want to put it on, in trying to make Lonzo Ball into like a shooting guard?
I guess. I mean, I don't know what else they could have really done with him. You want Brandon Ingram to be your creator. He's been good at that, quite honestly. And I think it makes Ingram more dynamic. And Ingram is the future of the team. Like, you need Brandon Ingram to blossom to his fullest extent. So I do understand wanting to kind of put him in more of that point forward situation and get those minutes and those reps. But at the same time, does it kind of neutralize some of Lonzo Ball's strengths? Probably. I think that's fair to say, and I think the Lonzo army that exists on Twitter, I think gets very upset about it, and rightfully so. But the Pelicans don't exist to make Lonzo Ball better. The Pelicans exist to win basketball games.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do is, get themselves the maximum capacity out of Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, and then Lonzo Ball is the next priority. So I think you kind of have to rob Peter to pay Paul, to use a cliche there. But it does ultimately, I think it makes him worse, but the Pelicans better in the long run. But it's kind of a tricky situation.
Talking to Scott Kushner here on OTBOT, at Scott D. Kushner on Twitter. Check out his work in The Advocate, Polk and Kush podcast. Scott, general NBA question here. Something that we discussed on the show last couple days. Do you believe, was James Harden purposefully bloating himself on game days, right? Because this year there's been multiple examples of him looking very in shape at practice and then looking very thick on game days. We've seen the numbers in Brooklyn versus the numbers in Houston. Obviously, he was not trying his final days in Houston. Like, do you think he was, like, drinking a ton of water, maybe, like, eating salads or something, like something with a lot of salt? Like, there's ways to bloat yourself. Was Harden purposely bloating on game days?
He's just pounding sleeves of saltine crackers.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. Yes. I'm almost convinced, like, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is there. How does he randomly get skinny during practices, but he's fat on game days?
So I will tell you some very inside information here. I actually have a very good friend who is on the Rockets staff. And he said that Harden does wear some kind of, like, pregame padding under his warm-up.
Okay.
So it's not always like he doesn't wear it every game or whatever it is, like, but he doesn't wear it the whole time for warm-ups, but there is like a padding thing that he does wear around his ribs, and I guess and then he tucks in, his basically it's like a sumo suit. He tucks in the warm-up thing into his pants, and so that thing expands everything.
It makes
so
much
he looks
sense now.
Really fat, but I don't think he's lost 20 pounds based on whether or not he's eating saltines for the game. But it's a really weird. I mean, I don't know any more about anybody's body after what happened to Zion last year. I literally just have given up trying to explain NBA bodies because they're very different than my own.
Look, I mean, I know how it is.
I can't figure that out.
I eat crawfish for 2 days straight. I feel like I'm just rolling around like a tick that's just filled with blood. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so the fat suit explanation actually makes a lot of sense. Also, if you look closely, he shaved his beard too. As soon as he got to Brooklyn, he cut off a lot of the underbeard, which thins up the face a little bit, a technique I used to give myself a bit of a false chin as well. Scott, thank you so much for joining us this morning, man.
Absolutely, T-Bob. Hope we can do this again.
Yes, absolutely. We will be doing it again. Maymake's got a little weekly guest here on OTBOT. Check out Scott's work in The Advocate, of course, at Scott D. Kushner on Twitter. Let's close out OTBOT. Let me just take a breath here. If you want to get your questions in, you can ask the boys in the chat, and we'll close out the show next.
OTBOT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st. 2021.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Happy New Year from Corval Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a Corolla for $239 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 104.5 ESPN. Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us as we put a button on the Saints season and the latest on the Ryan Nielsen LSU reports. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Ooh. Look, as far as license-free music goes, that little part right there, that little ding, 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 ding. I love that thing. All right, hashtag Ask the Boys. Which superhero would make the best Madden player? Ask Christian Gordon. I love this because he's not best football player. Who would be the best at Madden?
Like actually playing
Yes,
Madden.
who would be the best at actually playing Madden? Not a superhero, a supervillain, but the calculator. I feel like would probably be very good with anything electronic.
Never heard of that character.
You never heard of the calculator? He kind of became a counterpart. Oracle was Barbara Gordon, who was kind of like the overseer for a lot of superhero stuff and kind of like giving out information. Calculator kind of became a bad guy Oracle at one point. Bilbo T. Baggins mentions Flash. He would be able to maybe process things a lot faster than most. So I don't know if that could help him slowing down the game. Yeah, whatever. I'll just stick with calculator.
Give me Iron Man. Tony
Why?
Because he's super smart.
He is super smart. Also super drunk, though. Okay, intelligence is going to play, certainly. Musso, anybody? Maybe like a Robin because he's young. Caitlin Sims asked the boys, what's the next tier list? We're doing a King Cake tier list. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but we're doing it soon. I never released the hot sauce tier list on Twitter last Friday. So maybe I'll do it.
You didn't.
No, I forgot. So maybe I'll do it on Thursday, and we'll. We had a lot on our minds, right? And I'll do it on Thursday, and then we'll do another one.
Sauce.
Ask the boys, dream golf group of 4. Who are you picking as the other 3 players?
Wow. Oh.
Viggo Mortensen, John Rhys Davies, and Peter Jackson. And I'm just going to pester them with Lord of the Rings questions the entire time.
Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, even though I'd lose a lot of money to Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Who's your third? That's a hell of a first, too. Jesus?
I mean, come on. You're asking me who I want to play golf with you. I'm not going to say Tiger Woods. I love Tiger. I'd probably just bring my dad or a buddy for the 4th. Let them join in on the fun.
Greg, I'm sorry, dude. We're out of time. We'll get to your questions tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.